thing is filled to the brim with ribs and juice, and we have already had spills in my car on the way here this morning. And I have to go like 45 minutes back to Newburgh with this vat of Colby ribs that are going to be spilling all over my car.
Basically,
it could be a worse smelling thing in your car.
If my car has to smell like soy sauce, and
I'll take it for 45 minutes, an hour. That's a good inconvenience to have. Now, if it were like, what's something that smells terrible? Like,
blue cheese is kind of some people love it, most people
you spilled
hate
the ranch dressing all over the back seat,
balsamic vinegar.
Yeah, in that case, what's a good food you would want spilled
Jell-O
in your car, like for the sense of the smell of it?
Oh, for the smell?
Yeah, like if
anything vanilla.
Again, having Colby ribs in there. Yeah. It's going to be a mess, but I can think of worse things.
Vanilla extract.
Yeah, that's vanilla.
Good. Yeah, right. And there's something that's
some
easy to clean
or something.
Yeah, something like that. Well, ice cream.
Not the creamy part.
Nah, not ice cream because I still got some stuff in my car from my sister's and son's milkshakes and stuff like that just won't seem to scrub off. Man, I've been trying for a long time.
Yeah, that's I need to get the car detailed, but I just know it's going to get dirtied like immediately. After that,
you can. I mean, I don't know if it's getting detailed, but I know you go to like the Washman or the whatever it is that does the full thing. Well, not even the do-it-yourself one. I'm sorry, I'm lazy, folks. I wish I were still the type, but I'm old now. I'm 43. I'm not washing my own car. I got young slaves to do that now. Why would I wash my own car? But if I am going to take it through a car wash, I just come ahead and pay the people to, do like the $35 wash and get it all in. But if you pay like $25 a month, you get unlimited washes, no matter.
Are you endorsed by them or something over here?
No, I'm just saying it's promo code. It's just really convenient. It's just really.
If you put in the promo code Rashad, you can get 25% off.
Yes,
$10
washes. Rashad PDX. No, but seriously, like $25 a month, and I can get my car washed whenever I need to. That's a pretty sweet deal.
Bad.
I don't know. I mean,
well, it's a good Saturday. Good Saturday so far.
It's a good Saturday, a little chore to do too.
Gonna have a good little party barbecue later, and then tomorrow gonna be doing my golfing. So looking forward to that.
So you found a tee time this week.
Yeah, that's been locked down ahead of time.
Very good.
We're good.
You were stressing out last week for the entire show.
We're good. Well, I probably shouldn't have gone golfing anyways. It was pretty bad display out there. But
isn't that the worst when you get your head all ready to do something, you get out there and you're trash?
Yeah. That literally happened last week. Yeah, I was getting all hyped up. Took my pills, my ibuprofen. I was ready to go. Back was all oiled up.
I got my mind all ready to go hoop one day, play 21 with my guys. That was awful. Terrible.
No, but I mentioned golf because you brought something up right before we went on air. And normally don't start with sports, but we're not going to get we have limited segments today because of some guests that we're going to have on the show. Get to that here in a bit.
Some pretty cool ones.
But you brought up Tiger, and man.
Yo,
Dude,
again, not a headline that any of us were expecting to wake up to yesterday.
That's rough. I think that's rough. And I find it. I mean, it's pretty telling how when it went down, they were like, "All right, are you willing to do a breathalyzer?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll do that." Blows 000, all good. And they're like, "All right, well, we still think you're kind of messed up, so you want to do a urine analysis for us?" And he's like, "No."
Absolutely not.
That's not going to happen on that one. Yeah, absolutely not.
Sorry, I just can't hold back on that one. That's not the headline. I think any of us expected on a very busy Sports Friday night. By the way, guys, you had the Sweet 16 happening.
Yeah.
Opening weekend of baseball. The Blazers were playing at the same time all these Sweet 16 games.
That's the one we don't have.
Hard
to
keep track of.
That's the one that was the bummer of the day. You don't have to. Everything else was so good until you said that.
There is a Blazers segment today, but I don't know if it's going to be current Blazers related. I think it might be past Blazers.
Oh, yes.
Related, if you know what I mean, Rashad.
I do know what you mean.
I don't know what you mean.
There was a little trailer that came
No,
out
I know
this
what you
week.
mean.
I was like, Rashad, well, then you're about to be very excited.
I know exactly
serious?
what you mean.
You're going to see him go from 12 to 6 now on YouTube.
Listen.
Turn on YouTube for that. That's why you subscribe.
You talk about somebody that was excited. This is something that's supposed to happen a long time ago, too, so I'm glad it
is. Yeah,
I want to say, maybe it's still pinned up on their page, but I remember Dirt and Sprague.
Mm-hmm.
They were interviewing Damon Stoudemire one time, and he mentioned the Jail Blazers documentary. They took the tweet away. It used to be pinned at the top of their page, but
bunch of jerks.
But yeah, Dave Stoudemire like 4 or 5 years ago or something like that said that this was in the works and that it was originally going to be like a 30 for 30 on ESPN. So it must have, rights got sold to Netflix, or maybe it was always them. But anyways,
listen, I don't know.
I don't want to get to it just yet, but
okay. Well, I'm just saying that's going to be a good one though. And I mean, Netflix has been hit or miss though. I'll say that part. They've been hit or miss with their sports docs, so we'll see that.
Really? You don't like Untold?
No, some of them are great, but then some of them are like, this is stuff that we all kind of already knew.
That's fair. Like dive a little deeper.
The please. Florida one, like was it the Gator one, or was it the John? Yeah, I think it was the Florida one. I was like, man, that could have been better.
The Manziel one also. You're kind of same point.
This is a basketball heavy show today. In fact, everything's going to be all basketball.
I love it.
Speaking of that, I mean, some of the most recent sports documentaries I've watched on Netflix are basketball ones, and they've all been awesome. The Court of Gold, that follows the USA, and France, Canada, France, and then I think it was the Serbian team as well with Jokic. That one was really good. That was awesome. Like a 4 or 5 part documentary like series, and that one was awesome. We also had we watched the Redeem Team one, where it was I think
that was great.
2008. Yeah, because it was after the one where LeBron and Carmelo were like basically rookies playing on that 2014 where they finished, I believe, with bronze is what they got.
And Larry Brown sabotaged that team. I don't care what anybody says.
Larry
Brown was the coach of that Team USA team in 2004, sabotaged that team. Who doesn't play LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwayne Wade after the year they had? They weren't better than Carlos Boozer? Stop it.
It's that whole hierarchy thing, man. It's like why it's the same argument that Jason Tatum not getting minutes in the last Olympics.
You mean tell me those 3 guys with Allen Iverson and Tim Duncan wouldn't have won Olympic gold?
How do you get everyone minutes?
I had no idea that he is the only coach to win both a NCAA national championship and an NBA title.
Larry Brown?
Yeah. Larry Brown? He's the only coach ever?
Yeah.
Well, God, he
had
took
like 30
Darko
jobs
over
Carmelo.
That's
Stop it.
That's
what
the AI overview says. So you gotta trust it.
AI overview. He's probably right.
AI overview is never wrong.
Didn't I? Yeah, no, I proved that on the air here on Sports
always
Saturday
correct.
one time. Said like Peyton Manning was like in some huge stat that was never even. Yeah, no, not always right.
But yeah, those last 2 documentaries I think I watched on Netflix.
Did you see the Gilbert Arenas one?
I did not.
Shooting
you gotta watch that one.
That was a pretty good one. It made you feel really bad for Javaris Crittenton. Just everything he went through and everything was like
Gilbert Arenas is
Gilbert Arenas is still the same
piece of ass.
I mean, there's these
like
moments
instigators like that.
He has these moments of like clarity and brilliance, and then he has these moments of like jackassery. Like, man, what are you talking about, bro? Stop.
Well, again, heavy basketball show today. We're gonna be breaking this show up basically like by age range, age group classifications. Because we'll do NBA in the second hour. But before that, when we wrap up hour number 1, we'll do college. We'll do some March Madness talk there. But in the next couple of segments, we're gonna start at the high school level, actually, in studio high school level.
That can help us with our lingo.
What, like on the court?
6'7".
Oh.
What does it mean? I need to know.
I don't know. Maybe one of the guests might be able to help with that a little bit more. But the other one's around it a lot. So, no, we're going to have we actually had one of these guests on, I believe it was 3 years ago, right around this same time, because that person was winning a state championship at that time at the 6A level in boys basketball, and he has done it yet again. Bubba Lemon, head coach of Tualatin basketball, is going to be here in the studio, and he is joined by Jemai Lake, star player of the Tualatin Timberwolves, senior at Tualatin, and they have just won the state championship yet again, 3rd in 5 years, I believe. Correct? He nods, yes. Which, as someone who grew up in Tualatin, and we talked about this last time with Bubba when they won the second one, I was like, the fact that Tualatin is winning championships in basketball, like 20 years ago when I was growing up in Tualatin, I never would have envisioned one. Like it's always the same teams, it feels like. So the fact that Tualatin is on this run,
they're one of those teams now.
They are that team. They have staked their claim. So we have them two in studio to talk about their run to the state championship yet again. talk about all things basketball at the high school level and potential college level as well, because I think that
Montana,
there's some plans for someone in this room. So we got that coming up over the next couple segments. We'll do some March Madness recap at the end of the first hour. We have half of the Sweet 16 done. We got the other half to go, or excuse me, we have the Elite Eight to go. Sweet 16 is done. Elite Eight to go today and tomorrow. And then in the second hour, we got some NBA stuff to get to, a documentary coming out. 2 new teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
One coming in the Northwest.
I'm looking. I can't wait.
Can't
wait.
Might get to the 65 game rule. There's a lot of things that happened this week.
It's been a big
I have
week.
a list of different topics of what happened. I mean, there is a lot that happened.
So glad for spring break. I was able to see so much of it this week.
Almost as busy as like a sports November, right? Where you got every sport happening.
Baseball
at the same
started,
time.
as Schultze said.
Yeah,
you know,
crazy.
I mean, we're already overreacting after the first couple of games. I mean,
oh, I know. Oh, World Series champion right there. Hey, Netflix sucks at baseball, which actually they kind of do.
Actually, my Orioles hat is in the studio. I should go and grab that and pop
you
that
should.
baby on.
Yeah,
You should.
But it is all basketball today. Happy Saturday to you. We first bring on head coach of the Tualatin Timberwolves boys basketball team, Bubba Lemon, star player Jemai Lake. We do that next here. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Oh.
and 1080, The Fan.
Welcome back into Sports Saturday. Hope you're doing well. Last Saturday of March, second best sports month on the calendar.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, behind October. I thought we determined this last week. It's October.
I don't know if everybody agreed. I said yeah.
I mean, October's hard to beat.
October is hard to beat. October's one, for sure. Like, I don't know if there's another one. I mean,
I'm going March 2, though.
November isn't bad, though.
November's good.
Yeah.
November's, I would say November's maybe 3 or 2T.
Yeah, so yeah, it's in there.
Well, March is a great month, especially for our guests who are here in the studio right now. 3 years ago, this man was in the studio because they were just coming off their second straight state championship, and he has done it yet again thanks to the man that's sitting to his right, Jemai Lake and Bubba Lemon of the Tualatin Timberwolves. Fellas, how we doing this morning?
Hey, we doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, too.
Perfect. Thanks for coming in on an early Saturday morning. I mean, this is it's just wild, man. I said it in the last segment that the fact that you guys have gone on this run with both of the Lake brothers, it's just – I think back to growing up in Tualatin. I ended up moving to Sherwood, and that's where I went to high school. But even when my sister went to Tualatin, you know her when you guys were in school together, and my others, like, Tualatin was always decent, but it was always the other same teams that were winning. And now here you are, 3 state championships. I mean, like, take yourself back to that age range too when you were playing at Tualatin. Did you ever think that you would get to this point, or ever think that this would be the situation you're now, leading the team, the high school you went to 3 state championships?
Right. It's so cool. I mean, back then in 2006 is when I graduated. We just trying to get to the tournament. That's all it was. And I think the tournament was even at like 16 teams back then. And it was super difficult. And as a player, we never got there. We got upset in the first couple as a junior and a senior, probably second round and stuff like that. And it was a bummer. I knew one of my goals that I wanted to make Tualatin was a basketball destination kind of thing. And I wanted to make it a basketball school. And I kind of think that it's kind of been taken over as a basketball school. It used to be a big football school for sure. But between us and the girls program now, like, there's just that mentality. People love basketball there. So I'm super excited to be a part of the journey, as I was the assistant coach on the first year in 2022 when we won. And then we talked about that last time. We said it was like a video game. Like, how many times do you your first head coaching job and you win a championship? And it was like a video game. Yep, absolutely. And we knew we were over there on that time. We were talking about three-peating, and that was a very real possibility. We ended up taking third place. And then last year it was kind of like we're just getting our grounds together. And thanks to this guy, I mean, he was a freshman that last time we won the championship. And, you know, his big goal this year, and he'll talk to you about that, was he wanted to win. He won himself. Like, not just be on the team and got a ring, but I wanted to earn it. And I think this kid really did that.
So, Jemiah, that's a perfect segue, because I was going to ask, man, it's such a unique situation for people, because grand opening, grand closing, right? You come in as a freshman, you win the state championship. You leave as a senior as the clear-cut leader of that Timberwolves team. What did that championship mean to you as a senior this year?
It meant a lot, just because going through that my freshman year, it was fun watching my brother win one and watching the team. I loved those guys a lot, but it was a little different because I didn't play as much as I would have loved to, but, like, I loved being a teammate and loved being especially a scout team player. Like, a scout team player meant a lot to me because it made me a little better. Because this year our scout team players got a little beat up, and I got beat up my freshman year, which I expected that because I was the youngest on the team. And I think just winning one this year meant so much because I was kind of like the leader of this team. Like, me and Junior kind of led the whole team. Like, I would say I wasn't like the leader on the team, like, because I was, but, like, Junior, I shared that with him because he was a leader. He was a dog. He helped the team a lot. Like, he was a great teammate. He's probably one of my favorite teammates to play with. And, yeah, I would say it meant a lot to me and my family, just because I know my dad wanted it a lot too, and I wanted it a lot too. So it felt good to just hear that buzzer go off and see we won by 1 point. All it is 1 point.
Now, I'm curious. I'm curious, after you won your state championship as a senior, how many calls in before your brother actually hit you up and said congratulations? Or was he there?
He was there. Yeah, literally, the buzzer went off, and I turn around, and he's just right behind the bench. So I just gave him a hug.
That's
so
awesome.
Perfect.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, let's go back to the end of that game, the state championship game against Central Catholic, because it was an absolutely chaotic ending.
Mm-hmm.
At what point, it's kind of like a two-parter here, was there any point in those final seconds of the game where either of you were like, yeah, I don't know, I think we might have lost this one? And then at what point were you guys like, I think we might win this one? Because I feel like there is one moment that made that happen, but again, want to hear your guys' take on the crazy situation at the end of the game.
Definitely when there's like 9 seconds left, I would say, because like when there's 30 seconds left, yeah, but like there's still a lot of time. Like if they can miss free throws, but then when there's 9 seconds left, even when we had the ball, we were down by 6, so I was like, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it. And then Junior came down and won 3. I don't know why the kid fouled, but
that's what I was wondering. I was like, that situation.
Yeah.
What are we doing? But
it was, and then he hit it, and it was and one, and I was like, oh, I think we could do it, because like we already practiced the free throw play, and then we ended up doing it. And luckily, the shot clock or the clock didn't start, but that was lucky for us. But like we still got the ball back. We would have had the possession of the ball. So.
And so that remind me, that 3-pointer and one ended up bringing you guys down by how much? By 2? Because he missed the free throw, and then that's when the game-winning shot gave you guys the lead there. Yeah. So I mean, just crazy run at the end of the game where I hear you 9 seconds with 6 points. You're down. You're like, this is we need some help here.
Yeah, I would say like if you look at it, 47 seconds left in the game. We still had 15 points to score. So we talk about the 6 points in the last 6 seconds, but I knew when, of course, they came out in a 1-2-2 zone, so he got handed off, and so that guy was just like, oh, there's Junior out of nowhere. So we practiced that long throw play before, and like you said, it got to the and one. Once he hit once we knew he got to the free throw line, Jemai ran right over to me. You could watch him. He said, Bubba, we got to miss it, because we've been practicing it for a week. We've been practicing exactly how to miss it and all that stuff. And I looked at him. I said, you're right. We got to miss it. And so Junior, we called him over, did it, boom, got it out to Jemai, or got it out to Carter. Ended up getting the rebound on that. I know Jemai was still wide open, everything was perfect, dialed up. And then when they blew that whistle, and like I said, like Jemai said, Carter Powers had the rebound anyways off of Carter Lemon's miss. Mm-hmm. That's what everybody keeps hating. Like everybody's like, oh man, if the clock didn't start, they would have. No, Carter Powers was right there with the rebound. It was all right there. But then when I knew we had another play and I had one more play to drop, I was like, yes. And all we did was, I wasn't thinking like we were gonna lose anytime or like, oh man, we lost this. It was just one play at a time, and we drew up a great play for. It was 2 different options. That last play was not just an option for Junior. It was an option for Jemai first to get the ball coming around the top. Hopefully it took some people, which it did. He was a great decoy, and it left Junior getting ready to come around. And that was a Junior looked at us in the huddle. He said, can I shoot the 3? I said, you gonna hit it? He goes, hey, yeah, I'm gonna hit it. I said, shoot the 3 then.
Hey, so, supreme confidence.
Exactly.
I love it.
So great.
So I got to be real, I was at that game. I love you. I love your team. My cousin plays for Central Catholic. Shout out to my guy, Bam Paschel.
Oh, right? Yeah, Bam is unbelievable.
Bam is real,
I give him all the love in the world.
Real as can get. I've watched his dad work with him and work with his brother, who's a freshman at Weber and just had an amazing year. How good is that Central Catholic team?
Oh, they were unreal
by Coach Blue.
They were unreal. That was a really good team. They hands down 1 through 7 had probably one of the most talented teams 1 through 7. You know what I mean? That I've ever seen.
They're really good.
I think that team was better than the Jackson Shellstead team that we beat also back in 2023. That team was real legit. And Bam is by far one of the best basketball players I've seen besides the 2 that I got on our squad,
Absolutely.
But Bam, the way he could take over a game in the second half, unbelievable.
So I got to ask now that you got 3, which one to you is, because I mean they're state championships, they all feel great. Which one to you is the most satisfying, and which one was the most challenging as far as the season, postseason, getting there to the championship game?
So the most challenging one was the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows how hard it is really to go back to back. I mean, you even look at our girls team right now.
Mm-hmm.
They should have won 4 in a row this year. We would have thought, and just going back to back is so freaking hard. Everyone's got a target on your back. Everyone's got their best game plan for you. This is when we were rebuilding. Jemai was a sophomore. We were giving him the keys to the ship then. You know what I mean? And so him learning and playing a lot of time. But it was. And that's the thing is when I hear like defending state champions, it's like, whoa, that team is gone. You know what I mean? This is a different team. Yes, we're going to try to keep building on it. Like that defending state championships, that stuff works with pros. Right. You know what I mean? That because otherwise we're graduating people. Like, so people will be like, yeah, next year you're the defending state championships. Can you go back to back? It's not necessarily back to back because it's not the same team. We don't have Jemai on the same team. We don't have the other 5-6 seniors on the same team.
Retool.
So it's a whole different thing. But that second one, I think, was the hardest one ever. And just because that was my first year too, but that was the hardest one because of how much everybody is just looking for you to fail. Mm-hmm. This year, I think, was the most satisfying for me personally because this was the best high school game I think I've ever been a part of. It doesn't matter if it was the state championship game or not. This was by far the best game I think I've ever been a part of. And watching these young guys like be fully bought in and doing everything precisely. They were so precise with everything that they did and so bought in. There was no, like, I looked in the huddle and I called something and they might not have agreed, but you wouldn't ever tell. They were like, yes, coach, we got you. And we walked back later and I was like, I probably should have done something different. They're like, yeah, coach, we probably should have called this a little bit differently. But in the moment they were so there. So it was so rewarding because I also think that was like one of the best games ever that we'll ever experience in high school basketball.
Jemai, I'm curious, man. You mentioned your teammates, and this has been a big year for you. There's been a lot of attention on you specifically, and really your skill set and your maturation as a player as far as going to the next level. How's your teammates? How have they supported you this season, and really, how have you supported them in turn?
I would say definitely the way they just like picked me up when, like, say I didn't have a good shooting game, say I just wasn't in the right mindset during the game. Like at halftime, Junior would come over to me, even Dame, Carter. And then Takeo sometimes, like especially in the state playoffs, Takeo was really like trying to pick me up, trying to say, no, let's keep going. Even at the end of the game, Junior, all of us were on the same page where we just like, keep going, game's not over, play to the buzzer. And I think that just helped me a lot with my playing because then I was a little more confident. It added to my confidence. And Bubba especially helped me a lot with that, like in between games, he asked like, what do you want me to do like during the game to have you to keep going? And I was like, Loki, just tell me to keep my head up, and if I miss a shot, just go to the next one. And I think that helped me a lot, especially going into my college level. Like, you're going to need that confidence. You can't struggle with confidence at the college level. So yeah, I would say that helped me a lot.
That's what's up, man.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. These guys made the nice gesture of waking up early this Saturday morning and coming out all the way to Portland to hang out with us. So we're going to hang out with them for another segment here on Sports Saturday. Do that here next. Bubba Lemon, Jemai Lake in the studio here with us on Sports Saturday. First, Schultze with a Sports Center update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Portland Trailblazers falling just below 500, once again taking a loss to the Dallas Mavericks at Moda Center last night, 100-93 the final. Pretty good game off the bench for Marvin Bagley, the third, leading all scorers with 26 points. Rookie Cooper Flagg, a nice one for him as well, 24 points in the win. Drew Holiday, 23. Donovan Clingan, only 6 points. Denny Opdia had a decent shooting night, 8 of 15 for 20 points in the loss. Portland now off before facing off against the Wizards back at Moda tomorrow afternoon. Over to the college hardwood. The Elite Eight getting going this afternoon. Illinois, third seed out of the South region, taking on number 9 Iowa. That's a 3:09 tip on TBS. Then after that, top-seeded Arizona up against number 2 Purdue from the West region. That's a 5:49 tip also on TBS. In baseball, the Mariners getting their first win of the season, 5-1 over the Guardians last night up at T-Mobile. A nice 3-run whammy from Cole Young, and he got the second home run of the year already from outfielder Luke Raley. Mariners right back at it this afternoon. 6:40 first pitch, and that is on Mariners TV if you are looking for it. 1261 on Comcast, 687 on DirecTV. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schultze from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Curtain missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday morning.
We're back here on Sports Saturday in studio with Tualatin Timberwolves head coach of the boys basketball team, Bubba Lemon, and star player for the team, Jemai Lake, hanging out with us here this Saturday. I have an initial question is that, you know, Jemai, you and your brother, obviously great basketball players, runs in the family. Bubba, your grandfather, Meadowlark Lemon, great coach yourself, great ball player yourself. I mean, do either of you guys, your families, adopt and need a scrappy 6-foot white guy that will crash the glass? Kind of that Tony Allen archetype.
You'll do it.
Because, I mean, I love my family, but I'll let them know today at this party that, hey, this is the last time that I'm a Fisher, right? Because I'll be a Lemon or a Lake quickly if you got a spot.
Oh, yeah, we'll take them. As long as they scrap and they fight.
Oh, dude. We were talking like a month or two ago, like, who do we model our game after? Like, who do we think we look like when we're playing? And I said Tony Allen. I was like, defense, I don't need to score.
Good one.
Tony Allen and defense and then getting rebounds, just scrapping out there, bring a little attitude and some grit.
Now, see, I want to say Carmelo Anthony. I'm gonna be honest and say Draymond Green. That's gonna be that's my prototype. Yeah, put me out there. I got you, coach.
I go with Kareem Bigums.
Yeah, hey, that's cool too. Get buckets, however we get them.
Throw it to you, Jemai. Who do you? Current players, past players, who do you try to model your game after, or who do you think that your game is most resembles of?
I would like to say I like to try and be like Steph Curry, but like no one's gonna be like Steph Curry. So I would definitely say my game's kind of like a Trae Young or like a De'Aaron Fox type look. Sometimes Devin Booker, depends, but I would say those players.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good comp, man. In there, I saw a lot of in the game that I saw just. The one thing I love about you is your pace. right? It's not super, super fast, but it's definitely not, Luka Doncic, slow. There's just like this perfect pace, and you know how to kind of turn it on and turn it off a little bit. There was a little bit of shea as far as when you get into like your certain spots on the court to where you knew you'd be able to score from. So, yeah, but I think those comps are great for you. I'm curious, Jeremiah, because again, starting as a freshman, there were probably a lot of older players that you looked up to that were in high school. For you, outside of your brother, Josiah Lake, who was an amazing player, obviously, went to a state championship and won one. But I'm curious, were there any other players when you were a freshman that you were like, man, they're cold? But now that you're a senior, some underclassmen like, yeah, he's going to be a problem in a minute.
I'd definitely say Jackson Shelstad, definitely my freshman year, just playing against him. I didn't play against him, but like seeing him play like 4 different times, just crazy levels he was at. And I would say like freshman, definitely.
Or sophomores, just an underclassman, one of these guys that you see them coming.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely say Victor from Jefferson, and probably Kendall from Benson.
Oh, Kendall's a problem.
He plays like he's a junior. He doesn't even play like a freshman. I couldn't even tell he was a freshman when we played him.
Yeah. Coach, I'm curious for you, like you've been able to see a bunch of guys at this point, this being your, sixth year? Fifth year?
This is my fifth year? Or fourth year. Yeah.
You've been able to see a bunch of guys. I'm curious, outside of the guys that play for the Timberwolves, man, who has impressed you over these last couple of years?
Yeah, really loved Elijah from Southridge. He is a great point guard. I think he has a really good head on his shoulders. I think he could take over a lot more than he kind of is a little bit more reserved. But I really like Elijah from Southridge for sure. And he's naming those guys like Kendall from Benson. That kid was unbelievable.
Freshman.
As a freshman, that was a really good freshman, and he's a lefty, which is even more deadly in my mind. But yeah, I think some of these guys are going to be really good upcoming. I loved watching that Grant team play.
Yeah,
they are all young.
Shout out to the Generals.
Yeah. The Grant team looks so good. So they got some. They got some height. You can't teach height. That's another thing.
And they're young. Yep. There are a lot of freshmen and sophomores on that team for sure.
So speaking of players and what they're going to do in their next chapter and in the future, your next chapter is over in the state of Montana, my friend.
Yep.
Looking forward to that, I assume?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Love the coaching staff, love the area, college town, just great area to be around.
Of all the colleges and everything you looked at, what was it about Montana that stuck out to you that made you want to go there?
I would definitely say a college town, and to be honest, a public school. Because like a private is cool, nice, really nice. I had no problems with other schools, but just something about being in a college town that everyone is like looking at the program instead of just like being another kind of basketball or like another sport in town.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Coach, I'm curious, how involved are you with like the college selection process for some of your players? I mean, you've been able to see some guys get some pretty big Division I scholarships, so I'm curious, how involved are you at all as far as their decisions and next steps?
Yeah, I try to help them if they want help. That's for sure. I try to. It's a family decision. First off, that's for sure. So obviously, helping connect people is the biggest thing. I look at like a guy like Jaden Stepp. I remember his family.
That was my guy.
Yeah,
he was cold.
I love him. But we did a whole thing where we kind of like put 5 schools up on the board, and I had them, like him and his family, and said, what's most important to you, to help make his decision. So just not like, I don't ever push them towards one school or another, but I also make them understand, like, do they play an offense that is your style? You know what I mean? Like, I just want the kids to be thinking about that. Like, someone like Jemiah, I mean, his dad's already been through the process as a player. He's been through it with his other son, Joe. So it's like, just give them space and let me know how I can support, So that's kind of like where I go.
Yeah, so what do the next few months look like for you before you get on campus in Montana? I mean, you just won the state championship, so you're obviously relishing in that for a little bit, but is it just, making sure you lock down school for the next few months and then playing pickup as you go, working out? What does it look like?
Oh, yeah, definitely got to lock in my school just because after playoffs you miss a lot of school, kind of get behind, kind of like, then when you win state, it's kind of like, dang, I'm state champion. So, like, don't really want to go to school, but like you kind of have to. So like, yeah. And then
I'll get a week off because with this trophy. This isn't an automatic week off pass.
Yeah, and probably just work out, get some runs in, gain a little weight, just because some grown men in college. So, and I'm a little younger, so I gotta make sure I put the weight on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much my plan.
Man, I'm excited for you. I know a lot of Portland is excited for you. Coach Lemon, I'm curious, have you already started looking forward to next season? Are we already on to the next, or are you still kind of relishing in this?
No, I'm still sitting in this moment. We just designed the rings the other day. You know, we still got our banquet. You know, I'm still sitting in this right now. I know we are planning for summer, so obviously going up to WIBCA for our kids and stuff like that, hopefully trying to get down to Section 7 again. But I'm still just sitting in this right now. I can't think too much ahead right now.
Well, you're also coaching. You're coaching flag football right now at the high school. I didn't even realize. I was like, "What is this? Like a kids team? Like third, fourth grade?" Like, no, high school. I had no idea that the Tualatin, that there were high schools doing flag football.
I love it, and I love it's in spring too.
Oh yeah, that's the best part about
awesome.
it. Yeah.
Well, appreciate you guys coming down again this morning. I mean, you'll keep coming down as long as you keep it winning championships.
Absolutely. Hopefully, we'll see you guys in a couple of
You
years.
don't necessarily got to win. You can just come.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah,
Jemai,
exactly.
man, we are all very proud of you here. We've watched you kind of grow up over the
Thank
last
you.
few years, and now you're about to go do your thing in Montana, man.
Yep.
You got PDX behind you, man. Go do
Thank
your thing,
you.
brother.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
congratulations, fellas. We will get them out of here and jump over to some college basketball next because we had the Sweet 16 go down over the last couple days. Time for the Elite 8. Do that next year, Sports Saturday on the Fan Sports Network.
Most divorce ads talk about fighting, but what if you didn't have to fight at all?
Thanks again to Bubba Lemon, head coach of the Tualatin Timberwolves, and Jemai Lake of the Tualatin Timberwolves,
He's a
future
good young kid.
Montana Grizz. That's where he'll be going to continue his basketball career. Yeah. Good head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
No, that was cool having him in. Again, man, I just love it because, you know, this young boy who grew up in Tualatin, seeing them win all these championships and have all the success in sports. I was talking with my sister about it the other day because she went to school at the same time as Bubba when he was scoring touchdowns and making threes. She was doing her little cheerleader routine on the sidelines during her time, but they're crushing it in men or boys, girls basketball, and my sister, make sure to let her know that women's cheer also won the state championship at 12.
Hey-o.
So had to give the shout out to that. Bam, bam, da, da, da.
How do you spell championship?
CHAMPIONSHIP.
There you go.
But yeah, Tualatin's killing it basically. They're just
having a nice little run.
Yeah,
right?
it's
cool.
just their world and we're living in it. College basketball going on right now. Not actually any live games. Well, there might be. Are there any weird tournaments happening right now?
Yeah, like
the
NIT or the
CBC.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, or the BBC or
the CBA
what?
or the.
No, I don't think there are any other games going on right now.
We're number 48.
NIT or anything.
So the winner of the NIT is officially the 65th best team in the country, right?
Is that how that works?
Well, actually, no, not now because of the play-in.
The 60. Oh, so you're the 69th.
Nice.
All right, Sweet 16. This is what's gone down so far. Arizona just absolutely smacking down Arkansas.
Beating them
109, I believe. Second most points in a NCAA tournament game all time, and most in a Sweet 16.
Yeah. You don't see a lot of 100-point games in college basketball.
No, you do not.
Yeah, I believe that was the stat that I heard from that one. But Arizona going to the lead 8. They're riding a high right now. That's a team that needs it at this point in the tournament because we know Arizona's passed in the tournament at this point. Purdue ekes by Texas 79-77 in that one. Just barely getting by the 11 seed, but they advanced, and then Illinois over Houston. That one was like pretty jarring. Illinois was in control of that one for the most part the entire game, and then they started to pull away at the end, and it was like basically just they kept them at arm's length in that second half. Got it up to I believe 18 points. So they win that one, and then Iowa, Nebraska. Iowa, the 9 seed. So random. Like, of all the things that, like, who and what is going to make a run in the tournament, Iowa, the 9 seed, they're it. They're the team.
Hey, man, Indiana won a championship this year in football. I don't put anything
past
anybody
they were good.
Anymore.
Like, they were really, really good. Iowa, they're a 9 seed. They're 24-12.
Yeah,
like,
that's, hey, man, people can hoop. So, yeah, and I mean, that's the beautiful thing about college basketball and really this tournament. The fact that it's one and done says, a whole lot, because you'll find teams that aren't better than other teams that end up winning some teams. And this is sometimes, and this is what happened with Iowa. So those are those Cinderellas that we always talk about, right? And now Iowa finds themselves in this Elite 8, like, man, how did we get here? Okay, cool.
And then yesterday, Friday night, we had 4 more games. Duke beating St. John's 80-75. That was a fun game. That was chaotic at some points. And then there was at some points in that game too where I was like, what the hell is Duke doing? Like they had some real brain fart moments out in that game, and they cleaned it up like the last 7-8 minutes of it and played much better, maybe like the last 5 minutes, and did enough to win the game. But boy, there were some moments where I was just like, I think Patini was going to get him.
I was really hoping St. John's would win. I mean,
I was rooting for St. John's too.
I really kind of was. There's something real old school about St. John's. There's something very retro ESPN about this team that I've always loved. Yeah, and obviously and their coach, So yeah, I kind of wanted them to win. I'm not super surprised. The one thing you were kind of saying during the break is, somebody said that the Boozer boys just win.
I think it was Bubba and Jemai were talking about him.
They just win. Wherever they are, high school. They find ways to eke out wins, and they don't necessarily have to be pretty. But if we're being honest, their games aren't pretty, right? They have very much Carlos Boozer-esque games, for the most part. So, yeah, I mean they were able to eke that out, and man, Red Storm had a great season this year. 30-7, but I was truly, truly hoping that they could pull that one out.
Can I just lean on the greatness of Rick Pitino for a second?
You can lament all you want to about Rick Pitino.
I mean, it is amazing that give him whatever job, like the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette.
He's
he
gonna
can
do something.
take them to the Elite Eight. It does not matter where, and he has overcome, what did he say, like 15 seconds of shame, whatever he called it, essentially.
Whoa.
and now come back to the top of the college basketball world with St. John's is a good school, but with a nobody school in terms of blue bloods in college b-ball.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
No,
they
of
were
course
at a
not
point.
now.
Yeah.
Well, I
it's
remember
crazy.
St.
It's crazy
John's
what we're seeing
from the Big East days with when Pitt was there, and St. John's was never really a thought.
No, I mean, so prior to that, again, I'm a little bit older, so I do remember when St. John's was one of those teams that people often talked about, like in the early 90s, and then that kind of faded away.
Well, and that's the thing, is my era of St. John's is much later than that.
Trash.
Yeah, they're not very good.
Yeah,
but
by that time, nobody was choosing them.
Yeah. So they ended up losing to Duke, 80-75. Michigan took on Alabama, and Michigan ended up getting the win 90-77. Boy, they looked good in that one.
Well, they've looked good in this tournament, man.
They have.
Yeah. That Yaxel
really
Lindenborg guy, man.
Draft him.
I was going to say, he
immediately.
He looks good in a Blazer uniform, doesn't he?
I'd love it. I don't know if we're going to get that that far down this year, which is a good thing. We'll talk about it.
This was a funny one. So UConn, Michigan State. Hanging out with my girlfriend, and we're over at her friend's house, and one of the kids there, I think he's like 4 or 5 years old. He had a bracket, and he had Michigan State winning this game. I had Michigan State winning this game. His dad did. So we're all like, all right, go Michigan State. And UConn gets out to the lead. Like, what did they get? What was their lead? It was like 25-10 immediately, or like 25-7. Like, it took them forever to get to double digits. And so this little brat, he goes, I'm rooting for UConn, never mind. And he bails. And then I'm like, okay, that's fine.
All
I was
right.
like, you're gonna learn a lesson once Michigan State completes this comeback. And Michigan State, they damn near did complete the comeback against UConn yesterday. And I'm gonna see that kid today, and I'm gonna remind him. I'm gonna be like, did you see what happened? You see that Michigan State?
So he turned on his own bracket?
He turned on his own bracket because his mom took UConn.
That's
and so once he found out his mom took UConn and Michigan State was down by 17.
Pack this kid up, man.
Yeah.
I don't like he's flip-floppy already. We don't like
you gotta learn it. You gotta learn at some age.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
This is that learning time. We don't do that.
Now, granted, he ended up, being right. I mean, he flipped to UConn, and UConn still won the game.
Can't change your bracket, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, was it a second chance bracket?
Because
No.
of mommy.
You won in the living room. Yay.
And Tennessee finished out the game the day with Iowa State beating them 76-62. Iowa State's one of, if not their best player, definitely their best shooter. What's the guy, Momchilovich or something like that? Big white dude. Just banging threes all day long. Did not do that against the Tennessee last night. I think he finished with like 6 points or something like that.
Yeesh.
Because he's one of their leading scorers. Milan Momchilovich, 6 points on 2 of 9, 2 of 8 shooting. He's averaging this year 17 points for Iowa State. So he wasn't hitting. No one really was. They weren't making their free throws, Iowa State either. And because of that, Tennessee wins by 14.
I hope Tennessee gets destroyed by Michigan.
You love Tennessee. What are you talking about?
Can't stand them.
Yeah, Iowa State was 15 of 25 from the free throw line. No
Yikes.
No bueno. And got out-rebounded 43-22. I remember them saying that on the broadcast towards the end of it. That's wild.
Yeah, second chance points are definitely important, and
43-22 getting out-rebounded.
Yeah.
You got 22 rebounds.
Yeah, for the game.
That's
atrocious.
Yeah, that's so
atrocious.
bad.
I don't know, and I'm not sure. Maybe because I didn't see that game, but
yeah, that was
whether you were just undersized or whatever. But 22 rebounds. I mean, freshman teams get more than that in the first half.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. But that brings us to the Elite Eight. We got 2 games today, 2 games on Sunday. The action starts today at 3:09 specifically. 3:09 on TBS or True TV. I don't know which one they're going to put it on, but it is a Midwest matchup of Iowa versus Illinois. Iowa, the 9 seed in the South region, trying to make the Final Four. Illinois, the 3 seed. And again, they looked good last night. They are trying to advance to their first Final Four since, gosh, I'm trying to think, was that the Luther Head days?
I think so. I'm trying to think of the last time Illinois was really or Darren Williams.
Yeah, that's I mean, did they go to the final? Let's find this out. I gotta find this out. Our crack research team is now on it, year by year, because that's I feel like they played North Carolina. Remember that Sean May, Rashard McCants?
I do. Boy, that team is beefing with each other crazy right now. Have you been following any of that?
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
North Carolina?
Yeah. Those boys hate each other. Or more than that, they hate Rashad McCants.
Oh, they made it to the national championship game. Again, that was against North Carolina. They played North Carolina in the national championship.
Was that the Darren Williams-led team?
That was the Illinois team with Darren Williams, D. Brown, and Luther
Head.
Head.
That's right, yeah.
There you go.
Darren Williams, one of the most underrated, untalked about point guards in the history of basketball.
Hell. Listen to these in the national championship game for Illinois. Listen to these minutes played. Darren Williams, 40. D. Brown, 38. Roger Powell Jr., 38. Luther Head, 37. Some dude named Jack Ingram, 30. And then everybody else on the team got like
12 minutes.
2 minutes. But he was who was the coach of this team at Illinois? Just running those players into the ground. Last game of the year.
That's probably
Can't hold anything
lost.
back.
That's probably what was the score of that game?
Head coach Bruce Weber. How about that? Bruce Weber. What did you say?
What was the score of that game?
It was I think it was 75-70. So that was the last time the Fighting Illini were in a Final Four. It was 2004, 2005.
That was a good Illinois team. So hopefully they can.
I remember it.
They can kind of recreate that magical moment.
And
Put
then
them in my Final Four.
And then you got Arizona taking on Purdue today. That's gonna be a fun matchup.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. I would say UConn Duke. That is the top game of the Elite Eight matchups, but I would say that maybe this is number 2 between Arizona and Purdue.
Is Arizona the most disappointing of all the blue blood college teams?
I wouldn't call them a blue blood.
I mean, really? Not blue blood, but they've always been.
They have blue blood qualities, but I don't want to. They haven't won a national championship since what, 96?
But that's what I'm saying. They've
30
had
years.
But they've had a lot of really, really.
Would you call
good
the Cowboys
players.
a blue blood?
I would, because they're the Cowboys. Unfortunately, so I would have to, just based on the history of the team. So, I think that's why it's based on history, right? Why we would call somebody a blue blood.
I don't think I'm saying that. I don't think Arizona's a blue blood.
Listen.
I don't think they are.
I don't know if I necessarily disagree with you, all the way, and that's kind of why I'm asking. But they're always one of those teams that's predicted to be number one.
They're a prominent program.
Okay, that's better, because they've had great players. They've had.
What does that even mean?
They've had top talent, in the NBA. They've had number 1 draft picks and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. They just haven't had a national championship since that Mike Bibby, Miles Simon team in 96. 97.
This would be their first Final Four since the 2000 season, 2000-2001, when they were in the national championship game. So that is today, Purdue, Arizona. And then real quickly, tomorrow, Tennessee versus Michigan. Michigan looks really good, too. I had them in my championship game against Michigan State. I thought that would have been funny. Those two against each other.
A little rivalry game, I
Yeah.
suppose. No, this Michigan team.
Michigan State, you were right there.
Looks really, really good. And I'm not sure how to say homie's name all the way yet.
Yaxel
Lindenborg.
Yeah.
But hey, man, I know he's a senior, and I don't know if NBA scouts are going to look at that and have a problem, but I don't know if you're seeing what the rest of us are seeing right now, because this kid is really, really good.
Also, local tie to that Michigan team, Winters Grady from
absolutely
from the area, freshman on Michigan. He played at Lake Oswego, and he was supposed to transfer to Tualatin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And ended up not transferring
from Tualatin, so should have went there anyway.
Yeah,
but Winters Grady was somebody that I watched in high school and was like, yeah, this kid,
he's cold.
He's got it.
He's on Michigan. He's not going to play at all, though. He didn't play last night. It would need to be a blowout for him to get some minutes.
He'll get his time.
And then it's all capped off tomorrow, 2:00, UConn versus Duke. Now, those are blue bloods.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Those, 100%. See, that's what I'm saying. Now, granted, Duke and UConn probably have the most national championships between them two since the year 2000 is my guess. If we were to take a look at it, I'm sure North Carolina might be up there. But the UConn Duke, I mean, getting this in the Elite Eight, what a matchup.
Yeah.
How spoiled are we?
No, yeah, this will be a good one, man. I'm looking forward to this game. Again, the Boozer twins have been, well, Cameron more than the other one, but they've carried this Duke team through all of these playoff games, including back to the conference championship. So they've been hooping, trying to get their team there. But UConn is super talented, and I don't know. This will again. This is a blue blood. These are two blue bloods. These are two teams that are going to go at it. This is a nice way to cap off the Elite Eight.
I'm trying to look here. So North Carolina, since the year 2000, has
what, 2 national championships?
No, they got
3.
3, whereas UConn has, I believe, 4 since the year 2000. They won in 2004. That was the
Mecca Okafor.
Yep, 2004. 2011 was the
Kemba
Kemba
Walker.
Walker. 2014 was the Shabazz Napier with Kevin Ollie.
Oh,
and then they went back. So they actually have 5 since the year 2000.
Okay. Wow, 5?
Yep. And then Duke, since the year 2000, they had 2001.
Okay.
And then they didn't win their next ones till 2010. Which team was that? Was that That wasn't J.J. Redick, was it? 2010 Duke. 2015 Duke, that was the Tyus Jones.
And Emeka Okafor. Not Emeka Okafor. Was it Jaleel Okafor? No.
I think Jaleel. Yeah,
okay.
I believe it's Jaleel. So that's 3. And, yeah, Duke's only won 3 since the year 2000.
And those are all Coach K's, right? Those are all Coach K's.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Boy, I would have guessed Duke won a lot more than just 3. All right, we're going on a tangent here. We're having one of those sports basement moments where how many championships?
No, people don't mind. People don't mind. They love that. They're in the car arguing with themselves. 3 idiots, 3.
Oh, someone informed me that Grady is injured anyways for Michigan. Winters Grady. There you go. Our crack reporter team on the text line.
That's what they are. Thank you.
Also, text line gave me a great idea for my Colby rib situation that
Let's
I have.
hear it.
Garbage bag. Go find a garbage bag and
There
put
you
it
go.
wrap.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, thank you so much.
Somebody's thinking outside the box in the text line. Good luck.
Box of garbage bags back there here, right?
503-864-6326. Shout out to the text line. And hour number 2 is coming up. We're up against it, but we got a lot of NBA stuff to get to. A documentary, 2 new teams in the league. Maybe WNBA expansion talk? Oh my gosh. 65-game rule, anti-tanking stuff. We got maybe all of it. Maybe one topic. Who knows? Hour number 2, Sports Saturday on the Fan Sports Network. Coming up next.
I need a little...
Looking at another Portland Trail Blazers loss from last night at Moda Center, this time at the hands of the Dallas Mavericks, 100-93. The final. Cooper Flagg, 24 points, 9 of 17 shooting in the winning effort. It was Marvin Bagley the third, though, 26 points off the bench to lead all scorers. Drew Holiday leading the Blazers with 23. They're off today before hosting the Wizards tomorrow afternoon back at Moda Center. Over to the college hardwood, the Elite Eight getting going this afternoon after a very entertaining Sweet 16. First up out of the South region, number 3, Illinois taking on 9-seeded Iowa. 3:09 tip for that one on TBS. Also after that, 5:49 tip for top-seeded Arizona against number 2 Purdue out of the West region. Once again, also on TBS. And the Mariners getting their first one of the season yesterday against the Cleveland Guardians. 5-1 the final, thanks to whammies from Cole Young and Luke Raley. Right back at it tonight, Game 3 of a 4-game setup at T-Mobile Park. Brian Wu v. Joey Cantillo on the bump. 6:40 on, this is the new set of channels for Mariners TV. 687 on DirecTV. 1261 on Comcast. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Curtain missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris and Meringue. Weekdays 10 to 1. The Fans.
Hour number 2, Sports Saturday here on the Fan Sports Network. Joe Fisher III, Rashad Taylor, Jordan Schultz. Feeling better?
I think so. So the doctor said that since this is I was a positive test for flu A earlier this week.
Flu A?
So, yeah.
Dude, get the hell out of here
No.
right now. Leave. Go.
Go. Well, so the doctor said that because I got it at the end of the season, might be a little bit shorter of a strain.
Oh, okay. You're
So
good.
hopefully we're there. But man, I've been coughing my ass off in here. It has not been fun.
Hot.
Thank you.
Glad to have you all in on this solid Saturday morning. Yeah, I see sun shining now, so that means maybe some of the clouds are starting to part. But if you miss any of the first hour, you can get that on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, except for Spotify, because our show's still banned, as far as I know. I haven't checked recently, but as far as I don't think they're gonna let me know if.
Probably
Good
not.
news, Mr. Fisher.
The ban is lifted.
Yeah, I don't think I'll get that email. But if you missed the first hour, you get it in a lot of other places besides Spotify. Or again, go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube page. You can get it there, or the Odyssey app. What's going on here? What
I don't know. I got this professional volleyball game on, and I'll be honest. At first, wasn't feeling it. Now I'm like, okay, these girls can really play. Like this isn't like middle school or high school.
Wait, you're telling me that Major League Volleyball that the players can actually play?
No,
volleyball?
like things are moving so much faster.
They're really good at volleyball.
I know that sounds insane, Joe, but like,
if you've
been to a volleyball game in either high school or something like that,
I loved going to volleyball in high school.
I'm sure you did.
Our cheer section was one of the best in the state.
Yeah.
Up against anybody.
But you see, sometimes those games can drag on a little bit. Like the ball is moving so fast with these girls. Like this is crazy.
No, I loved going to the volleyball games in high school.
That was literally
it was
it was
awesome.
the guys. Yeah, always go to the games after school.
Great time.
Yeah.
But let's see. God, where do we even go? I have a list of topics today.
I say you just start talking and then we'll figure it out.
How about I just filibuster for the next hour
Let's do
that. Like
so many
act
things.
like I'm going to get to something but never get to it at all.
Yeah.
No, actually on my show sheet today I had for this segment Jailblazers documentary is what I had wrote down. Because the trailer came out this week. Did you see the trailer, Rashad?
I've seen the trailer 6 times.
I did.
6 times?
Yes.
Only twice for me, but yes.
Yeah, I think twice for me as well. My God, Rashad.
Because I saw some people in there.
Are you one of those YouTube channels that's like what I learned from watching the trailer for the Jill?
God, and the people that watch.
Let me break that down for
if
3 hours.
If you slow the footage down,
F yourselves.
And look at Damon Stoudemire's face, you can tell that he wasn't very happy about that question.
No, yeah, I watched it a couple because I showed showed my people and showed everybody. I was like, hey, have you seen this? Showed my buddies and everything. So yeah, I've seen it a couple times. And again, this is a long time coming. Like, this is a story to be told about one of the greatest teams to never win. And you've got to be let's put this into context. You've got to be a special team to not win a championship and they still make a documentary about you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, they don't do that. They're not going to do that for the bum-ass Clippers of the 80s and 90s. They're not going to do that for them.
There's a lot of good teams that they do make documentaries on. I mean, this one definitely
it has something
has
to do
a
with,
different angle.
This one does, but again,
the way Bob Whitsitt put it together.
But a bunch of dudes got arrested, especially in the NBA and NFL. A bunch of dudes get arrested all the time and everything like that. This matters because this team was really, really freaking good.
I don't think they're making a documentary on those Paul Millsap Atlanta Hawks with Kyle Korver and
no,
Jeff Teague.
Because you know why? Because they didn't go to the finals and play against Shaq and Kobe. They weren't a Western Conference Finals team or Eastern Conference Final team multiple years in a row. Like,
hey, they won like 67 games or something.
They did it that one time. That one season. That's what I'm saying. You're not making documentaries
I want to
about
see
a
that
team from that one season.
Right?
Yeah.
I want the real story on that Atlanta Hawks team.
But that's all I'm saying is, like, I was a teenager. Now, I was really, when you can remember all this stuff, so 16 to about, or let me say like 15 till about 17, 18, when the Jailblazer, 19 because college and everything, but when this Jailblazer stuff was happening, it was like a soap opera that was like unraveling every day. Something new was happening with one of those dudes. So yeah, I think it's a story that should be told because if you're a Blazer fan, you got robbed out of a championship potentially. Now, the referees didn't miss 8 shots in a row in the fourth quarter, start of the fourth quarter. The Blazers did. However, still think they got screwed out of that.
No, but Rasheed got kicked out earlier in the series, probably at a moment when he shouldn't have, just for looking at that referee.
That's right.
Get out.
That's
he literally looked at him.
So I think there's
come on.
Like, so I think just remembering some things, like some of the stuff was like, man, you should. They wouldn't have been arrested for today. Right, some of the stuff they got in trouble for, then they wouldn't have got arrested for today.
Stuff.
Can I add to that just a little bit, Rashad? That's something that I thought of a lot when I watched this trailer, you guys. And I'm not. I think I need to remove the Zach Randolph punching Ruben Patterson in the face, the Quintel Woods dog fighting stuff, any violent crimes. Ruben Patterson, being accused of rape, basically. Like, there were a lot of violent crimes that I'm not talking about here. What I'm opining on is the weed stuff. And I really hope that this documentary kind of brings old fans out of the woodwork, current fans, that have loved this team for so long, maybe around our age, that never really spoke up about the difference between the way the city treated a white Bill Walton and literally,
which is fine for some smoking weed.
Well,
do your thing.
Yeah, seriously, and they would go get stoned with him, like in the park outside of the Lloyd Center, like that. It was like Blazers fans smoking pot. Like, you can go find stories galore, that kind of stuff. But when it came to young black players smoking pot in the city of Portland, apparently it wasn't okay. People weren't down with it, and it became a criminal activity that they were doing. And I find that abhorrent. I've hated that, and I really hope, because we haven't heard a reprieve from the city, from major fans about that. It's kind of just been something that's swept under the rug. I really hope that we can have an honest conversation about that and maybe own up to the fact that, hey, this city was a double standard and was treating players of a different race like crap compared to another, and I didn't like it.
I will attest, like, the Blazers' downfall, not the downfall, but I guess the person that really perpetuated, like, the fact that these guys were thugs or everything. I won't say his bum-ass name, but it rhymes with Bram Brunzano. And he pretty much is the one that pretty much put that narrative out there that this team was a bunch of thugs and a bunch of everything, and pretty much forced Rasheed out. That was the first domino to fall. Like, once Rasheed left this team, that's when everything really started to, like, fall apart as far as the Blazers going back into the basement.
Yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued to just learn things that I didn't know before,
Hell yeah.
Because when the Jailblazers era was occurring, I was 8 years old, and I mean it happened over a few years up until I was 10, 11 ish. In fact, this team led me to a short stint rooting for the Charlotte/New Orleans Hornets when they had Baron Davis and David Wesley and Jamal McGlure. The team sucked. The Blazers, this was obviously after at the end of the GL Blazers era. I was like, they suck.
Nobody to root for.
They're all getting in trouble. I was like, there's nothing good about this team right now. I need a new team. So I went to the Eastern Conference version of the Portland Trail Blazers,
so tight,
and went with the Charlotte Hornets. They were, but then they went to New Orleans, and then that's
when things changed a little bit.
And then they had Baron Davis, who's one of my favorite players because of that little that stint. But yeah, Jamal Mashburn was on that team, and
do you want to hear something funny? You want to hear something funny? When you're a kid, because even me as a kid, the Charlotte Hornets were my team too.
It's just something about the colors, the logo, those
jerseys.
Jacket.
And I remember, I was a Charlotte Hornet fan when they had the pinstriped jerseys. Like, the only teams that had pinstriped jerseys were the Bulls and them. And, those were so cool to me. So, those starter jackets are back now. And so I'm getting me a Charlotte Hornets joint. I can't wait to get that one. That's going to be...
I don't think that's going to look as cool now as it...
Oh, it looks awesome. I saw it, and I was like, I saw it all dressed up.
Will Rashad be able to pull off the Charlotte Hornets starter jacket?
Of course he will. You know why? Because those are my clothes. Those are my clothes. Those aren't clothes for these new kids. That's my jacket. It just came out back for you.
Dirt has the old Blazers snap up.
Oh yeah, he's got I
have the same one. Those are sick, man.
Yeah, my buddy has one of those. It's like he wore it to the game. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of jealous, man.
Yeah, I'm just curious to learn more about during that era because I was just a young little Joey learning about his Blazers. I mean, that was like my first introduction to the Blazers as well. My first introduction actually was Sean Elliott in the Memorial Day. What do they call that?
Memorial Coliseum
massacre, whatever you want. Heartbreak.
Where foot might have been on the out of bounds.
Probably was.
Man, twinkle toes, Elliott.
That was my first foray into Blazers basketball, and I should have taken that as a sign, like that. You better get used to this kind of stuff. Bud.
I thought we had won that game.
We went to 2 NBA Finals in '90 and '92. We weren't that far off of success.
And like I said, that team.
I wasn't alive for that first.
And guess what? They've made a documentary. There's a recent documentary about that 92 Blazer team.
There is.
I mean, it came out a few years ago, but there is something about kind of those teams. But again, this team was really, really special. I can remember them being at the sideline at high school basketball games, right? Watching the Jeff Benson game at that point. The Blazers were a part of this community. We had the best team in the NBA, and then it all fell apart.
And by the way, it wasn't the Sheed stuff that started it. I really do think trading Jermaine O'Neal for Sean Kemp, I think that is what started the downturn. Just throwing that out.
Wasn't it Dale Davis?
Yeah, Dale Davis. They traded Jermaine and Joe Klein to the Pacers for Dale Davis.
Dale Davis worked out for us for a little bit, though.
But Jermaine O'Neal became an all-star, and the Blazers. So 2000 lose to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. 0-1, an even more disappointing a result. They had brought Detlef Schrempf back mid-season. Remember that? That's kind of when you talk about too many cooks in the kitchen. That's really when it started to take a step back.
When they traded Sheed, and then Zach Randolph became the guy. It was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, you're right.
What I'm nervous about this documentary, what they might do is just focus 80 to 90%, if not more, on Rasheed, Damon Stoudemire, and Bonzi Wells. Because that's who was most in the trailer.
Yeah.
I don't want to get to the end of it and they throw up a little, little text that says, Quintel Woods was also.
I need to see Quintel Woods,
and then that's all they mention.
I need to see Zebo. I need to see because
Zach Randolph was also arrested for this.
These are all parts of the story that we need to hear.
And I want to hear from the bench guys. I want to hear from Stacey Augmon. Spider-Man, I think, is what his nickname was back.
Find
in the
me
day.
Mo Cheeks.
Exactly. Yeah, the Darius Miles Mo Cheeks freaking saga. After that was a part of the Jailblazers time. All that stuff.
Looking forward to it. Hope it's good. I'm also looking forward to showing my son to just be like, yeah, this is what we had to deal with.
Yeah,
when you were my age, you had Dame
time. We had real stuff to deal with.
We had jail time. We had jail time is what we were dealing with.
We had Sebastian Telfair, buddy.
Man.
the former or the first Savior, right? That was the original Scoot.
That was pre-Brandon Roy, yeah.
Oh
that was the original Scoot.
That taught me a lot about the NBA and life and basketball, just watching that whole process.
I was excited to get Sebastian Telfair. I'm not going to front.
I was too,
I was
but
excited.
then I became
He was on the cover of Slam with LeBron. Yes, I'm glad we got this dude.
Well, I'm sure there are some cities that are excited to be getting some teams in the NBA. We do that next here, Sports Saturday on the Fan Sports Network.
Did you know that most people...
Welcome back into Sports Saturday. Jokes. Laughing at someone's demise. Isn't that great?
That's what we do.
I don't know. Sometimes you need those moments in life, though, where it's like you may not be in the best mood yourself. Am I making the right choices? Am I doing the right things? Am I spending my time wisely? And then you see a story or see something.
Then Tiger. Lets us know that we're
you know
okay.
What? I'm not driving in the middle of the day all pilled up.
Yeah, lets us know that we're not that bad.
That's a win.
Yeah, like maybe our lives aren't as bad as we thought that they might have been, right? You know what I mean? If you got a guy that has seemingly everything,
except a personal driver,
except a chauffeur for whatever reason, or even a self-driving car. Don't Teslas like drive themselves if you need them to?
Yeah, they have that.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, man, put on the self-drive feature.
Pay a human and have them do that.
Guys, we know exactly why he didn't do that. He doesn't like that. He likes to drive. It was a rollover crash pretty similar to the Genesis rollover crash.
I think he was trying to Dukes of Hazzard that son of a bitch. He just
Lord,
go right off the ramp it off.
Here's what we know.
He takes those curves quick.
Tiger likes to drive, but Tiger can't drive.
Yeah, that's
what.
true.
This is what we know. Like sometimes you have shooters that like to shoot, but they're not necessarily shooters. They just we just let them shoot. Like
I always like Tiger's short game.
Yeah.
Oh, drive.
Clearly driving.
Oh, Joe, you're funny.
Finally, the one thing he can't drive is a car. Like that's crazy, man. Like
Thank you.
This was pretty. Like, and the not funny. I want to make sure I preface my comments by saying that
here we go.
It wasn't funny.
This is Rashad Taylor speaking.
However, looking at his mugshot early in the morning and looking at the picture in the back of the police car was the one. That was the picture that was like,
can't wait.
Yo, my guy's falling on some hard times. I don't know what Tiger's going through. I hope he gets some help, because the last thing we want to see is just this American hero in Tiger Woods just crumble before our eyes.
Well, I think
I can't wait to talk to the president about. That's a quote of Tiger Woods, by the way.
It's like, I mean,
is he going to get a pardon?
From Donald, possibly. I think President Trump already spoke out in support of Tiger, so yes, he could.
Damn it! This is supposed to be a NBA expansion talk.
Well, I mean, when you talk about your life not being in the best place and being jealous of maybe, or not being jealous, maybe being somewhat envious of what people have. Clearly, life isn't all it's cracked up to be for everybody, even the rich and famous. Again, I don't know if people get richer than Tiger Woods. They do. But
in Vegas, they might. But
there
are going to be some owners that are going to get richer because they're going to own 2 new NBA teams.
I'm
trying to segue, Rashad. Damn it!
I'm with you. I'm letting you do it.
All right.
Drive the car better than Tiger.
So we'll get the Seattle Supersonics back. It'd be funny though if they did bring Seattle back, but they didn't.
Named him something else.
My God.
Seattle fans are just like, damn it, dude.
The Seattle woolly mammoths.
The Roasters. Yeah, something like that.
Vegas. They will also have a team. Again, this is all to be voted on, but they're gonna all vote yes, 100%.
They see how much money is in Vegas. Especially you seeing what the Raiders have generated, even though the Raiders have been ass.
By the way, can I use this opportunity to put a kibosh in the Blazers are going to become the Supersonics talk? That article kind of speak, which happened not just by one writer, by a lot of different people on social media about 3 weeks to a month ago. Stop it.
Hey, Schultz, be careful. Before you know it, they're going to be the Topeka Trailblazers or the Omaha Trailblazers or something.
That's not quite what people were saying. They were saying what a travesty it would become if the Supersonics become the Supersonics at the behest of the Blazers. It was just the stupidest, most dramatic kind of posture.
Well,
I was never in that camp or ever worried.
Well, we've been jaded as Blazer fans, right? We're jaded now.
I understand.
We've seen too much happen, and we saw it happen to the homies in Seattle back in 2008.
I'm glad the NBA is doing right, though, and giving Seattle a team back.
They should. They
Alien guy knew.
They shouldn't have lost it.
Adam Silver, alien guy. He looks literally like an alien. My wife, every time she sees him, is like, he's from Men in Black, right?
Yes, he is. I don't think he is of human orientation. I think he is some sort of alien.
I bet you David Stern personally told him when that happened, this cannot happen again. When you take over for me, this cannot ever happen again.
They fumbled that one.
You know what's funny is that Supersonics leaving Seattle is kind of that New Orleans Hornets team's fault back in the day. Those Baron Davis, David Wesley team and stuff. Because they went from Charlotte, the Charlotte Hornets, to the New Orleans Hornets. New Orleans got Katrina and had those bad hurricanes. Then they had to go play in Oklahoma City. Everything went so well in Oklahoma City.
We need a team here.
Yeah. And then Seattle was like what's his nuts up there, the Starbucks bro.
Howard Schultz.
Thank you.
Son named Jordan Schultz, very famous NFL reporter. I digress.
And he was like, I'll go to Oklahoma City. So really it was Katrina's fault.
That was not him. He sold it to Clay Bennett.
Oh, excuse me.
Clay Bennett said, I'm going to keep the Supersonics here, bullsh, and then took them back home. Clay Bennett was literally from Oklahoma. We all knew what was happening.
But if Oklahoma City didn't show out during those few games that New Orleans was there, the Hornets,
they did their thing.
So basically, blame Katrina.
And it did not hurt that Oklahoma City at that point was playing host to a guy named Chris Paul, who was pretty good,
I love
at that
those
point.
New Orleans teams
until
with
he got
him
traded.
and, Tyson Chandler.
Yeah.
Oh,
they were so good. Tyson Chandler.
David West.
Tyson Chandler. I love David West, man. That slow bop game that he has, one of the strong guys, one of the big guys in the NBA. But
you remember that court? It was like NO/OKC on in teal. It was weird.
Yeah, it was a weird time.
It was a time, yeah.
It was a weird time. But they saw that Oklahoma City was screaming for a professional franchise, and they got it. And then out of there, they got you get Shea and you get KD and you get we haven't had that list of superstars between Shea and Kevin Durant and a Russell Westbrook and a James Harden. OKC has been able to have that over the last 12 years.
Dude, I'm looking right now, and they have these Oklahoma City Hornet jerseys that say Oklahoma City on them, and there's this one red one that they did at one point, a Chris Paul version of it.
Ooh.
Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be a deep pull.
That's a nice little deep pull.
That's a deep pull right there.
Get a nice little Charlotte Bobcats jersey.
Yeah. Well, Seattle and Vegas, they will be getting some teams, and expansion draft will be in the future. There's an expansion draft here in the next couple days in WNBA, and I said during the break, I don't know what it is. Expansion drafts just get me excited. I don't care what the sport is. I'm always looking up how the hell is it working? What's the procedure for this? What players are going to get protected? I can't tell you how many times I've tried to find different articles about the WNBA expansion draft. Ever since that they got the CBA locked in and everything, I wanted to find out what's happening, who's getting protected, who's likely to get protected, who's likely to be available for the Portland Fire and the Toronto Tempo. And so when this NBA expansion happens, it's going to be that on steroids. I mean, when's the last time we had an expansion draft in the big three sports? NBA, NFL, MLB.
I think when they did the Hornets or the
Bobcats.
Sorry,
the Bobcats. Yeah, so 04, 03-ish.
Something like that, yeah.
That team sucked.
And then in baseball, I think it was because the Expos became the Nationals, so they didn't have to have an expansion. Yeah, it was literally in the NBA. That was it.
So it's been
were the Texans before that or after?
They were right before. I think it was 2002, maybe the Texans
had to be the NBA. I think.
Yeah.
NHL. I'm not thinking of hockey. Has there been a new?
Because they moved the Oilers to Tennessee, right?
Had the Mammoth aren't a new team. That was the Arizona, but it was when the Kraken came through. When the Vegas Golden Knights
that would be the latest
through.
one then. Yeah. The Vegas. Yeah. So the NHL's done it a couple of times.
Yeah. But again, I said Big Three specifically because I knew that the NHL had done it a couple times. So yeah, I think that the Texans were 2002, so that was the last time in the NFL. The NBA, let me see, the last expansion draft that the NBA had
to be those Bobbies.
2004, Charlotte Bobcats. Yeah,
Emeka Okafor was their first player, their number one overall pick.
So they named that team the Bobcats because Bob Johnson, the owner of BET at that time, was like,
serious?
I want it to be my name to be in.
Yeah, are you serious right now?
I swear, man, I swear.
That team, we just need to forget.
I had no idea that's why they were.
Yeah, that's where that team came from.
You guys brought up Sean May earlier. He was a Bobcat.
He was a Bobcat.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. I thought he was going to be so good in the NBA.
It's kind of like the Cleveland Browns are named after their first owner.
Yeah.
Was it Paul Brown? Is that
I think so.
Who the owner was, the original one?
Trash.
Naming your team after yourself, but in animal form.
Yes, the Bobcats. And pick the stupidest colors in the world, like that orange and black. Like, this is terrible.
It was really bad. Former Blazer great on the Charlotte Bobcats, Gerald Wallace. Remember him?
He was the one high spot they had from the Bobcats.
I believe they actually signed former Blazer great, Matt Carroll, that short shooting guard. Remember the white guy that played for the Blazers on a 10-day contract? They signed him to a 5-year deal. So that's how smart the Bobcats were.
That's the documentary I want. The debacle of the Bobcats.
Yeah.
Worst expansion franchise possibly in sports history. Maybe not sports history.
No, that would be the Seattle Pilots, sir. Back in 1969, they lasted one season, and their stadium was so terrible. And they are the last team that only lasted one season in this expansion.
Let's go modern day then.
Oh, come on!
I can hear because you say in 1969. Yeah, I mean they're flying by the seat of their pants back in those days.
But who else has expanded into a new team and then left after a season?
To expand an NBA team and for it to only last for what? 6 years, 7 years. How long did the Bobcats last?
I think it was almost a
It
decade,
was
right?
almost
A
yeah,
decade?
it was
Yeah.
10 years. 2004 to
and then be
2014.
phased out like that it never even happened. Their kids, Joey has no idea that the Bobcats were ever a team.
He might because of like 2K or something
The
like that.
Bobcats are on 2K?
Maybe it's just some throwback jerseys or something like that, or I don't know. Was there a classic Bobcats team that they put on?
What's the
NBA
all
2K?
Bobcats team?
Yeah.
Emeka Okafor,
Dude.
Sean May.
That 07 Bobcats team when they almost got the 8 seed?
Jared Wallace. You know,
Yeah.
it's
When
Gerald
they
Wallace.
almost got the 8 seed that year, dude, they were a problem. Okay.
And they
Sounds
never
like a
made the
Blazer
playoffs.
season.
They never made the playoffs in that run, did they?
Once.
I think they did once.
Yeah, one
I think they
time.
made one
That's
playoff
insane.
series. That first round has like a 7 seed.
That's
or something
insane.
Like
that they even made a 7 seed. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm forgetting some others, but there's got to be. Was it the Atlanta Thrashers? Remember them in NHL?
The NHL team, yeah.
Yeah,
I like those jerseys though.
kind of cool.
Did
all
Kemba
right.
Walker play for the? Was he too soon?
Kemba
Walker was on the team.
Yeah,
he was a Bobcat. He was drafted by the Bobcats.
Yep,
so,
he was
yeah.
a Bobcat. He was one of them that made the switch when they went over to the Hornets. Okay, we're way up against it. We got, damn it, Charlotte Bobcats. You did it to us. Do we want to go 65 game rule next or anti-tanking solutions?
I like 65.
Either
games.
one, man.
I mean, we might be able to do both.
I think we can squeeze them both in there.
Let's see if we can do that. Next, Sports Saturday. But first, Schulte, Sports Center update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Portland Trailblazers falling just below 500 again after the loss to the Dallas Mavericks at Moda Center last night. 100-93, the final. A great night for Marvin Bagley III off the bench, 26 points to lead all scorers on the Mavericks. Also, Drew Holiday leading the Blazers scores with 23 on an 8 of 19 shooting performance. They're off today before facing off against the Wizards back at Moda tomorrow afternoon. On to the college hardwood, the Elite Eight getting going this afternoon. Number 3, Illinois, taking on 9th-seeded Iowa out of the South region. That's a 3:09 tip on TBS. And then you got top-seeded Arizona taking on number 2 Purdue out of the West. That is a 5:49 tip also on TBS. The Mariners getting win 1 of the regular season yesterday against the Guardians, 5-1 the final, thanks to whammies from Cole Young and Luke Raley. Right back at it tonight. Brian Wu beat Joey Cantillo on the bump. That's a 6:40 first pitch. New channels here on DirecTV 687 and on Comcast 1261. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch.
An astute point on the text line, 503-864-6326. Based on the way the show has been going today, you guys can't get to both topics next segment. Yeah,
That's
it's
fair.
a fair point, Zach.
Yeah, you're
as soon
probably
as
right,
I
bro.
broke
You know
and
us
sent
too
it
well.
to Schulte, I looked at the clock and I was like, yeah, that's...
I bet you we can, though.
All right. Damn it. Not a good start. I had the article up and now it's closed. Oh, boy.
We're just sailing.
Son of a bitch!
It's like getting out onto the water and the sails aren't even up yet. This is awesome.
Okay. I'm going with the anti-tanking stuff. NBA presents 3 anti-tanking proposals. I will say them to you now. In the first proposal, 18 teams. The bottom 10 that miss the play-in tournament and the 8 that qualify for it all will be part of the draft lottery. The bottom 10 teams will all have an equal 8% chance of moving up in the lottery, with the remaining 20% of the odds being split among the 8 play-in teams descending order from 11th through 18th. Does that make sense?
Sort of, but
I mean,
not really.
I guess.
So basically,
no.
the 10 teams that don't make the playoffs or play-in, they have a better chance of moving up in the lottery odds, whereas the teams that make the play-in, the odds of moving up are split between the 4 teams, and it's not as good.
So essentially, we are
Or
now
8 teams, excuse
we are
me.
now no longer incentivizing being the worst team. If you don't make the playoffs, equal chance across the board is what you're saying, which does, I would
I
say,
like that much
force
better.
people to be competitive across the board.
Because whether you are the worst team record-wise or the team that just missed
Just
out
missed.
on the 10 seed, I mean, if you look at the Eastern Conference this year, well, actually, 1 through 10 in the East is all really good. I think it's 11 is where there's that drop-off, similar to the West. But in the second proposal, 22 teams, the bottom 10 teams that miss the play-in tournament, the 8 that qualify for it, and 4 playoff teams that lose in the first round. So now they're including teams that actually make the playoffs, will all be included in the lottery and will be ranked according to their record across 2 seasons. The last part,
I like that.
Okay, I kind of like that.
This is what the WNBA does for their lottery system. The last part weighing teams by their record across the prior 2 seasons. Yeah, that's a WNBA thing. Under that system, each team would need to reach a minimum win total floor in each season to mitigate the need to lose every game possible. For example, if the minimum floor for an individual season was 20 wins, a team that went 14-68 would be 20-62 for lottery purposes. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And if a team wins 40 games one season and 20 games the next season, it would go in as 30 wins for the lottery because that's the average of the 2 seasons.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think I like that one more than the first one, just for incorporating like, damn, your team really sucks. Like over these last 2 years, you really need, because then if you get a number 1 overall pick and that player ends up changing the franchise, and then you're a 41 win team the next year, like you don't need the help as much as some other teams. So
No, yeah, and I think it kind of keeps teams honest for a little bit as far as how they play their game.
I just don't understand
I
including the first round, the teams that lose in the first round.
It's much harder to tank for 2 seasons than it is for 1. You know what I mean? Like I can tanking for 1 season to get into that, draft lottery situation. That's one thing. To completely like throw things off for 2 years for your franchise will get everybody fired. So I don't really see that happen. So I do kind of like that idea a little bit.
In the system, the top 4 spots would be drawn as part of the lottery, as is currently. Yeah, I just don't understand the having to include, like I said, the teams that lose in the first round. Like, because what if
I don't think they need the. I don't think
what
if
if
you make
like
the playoffs,
Yeah,
you
they
should
don't
be
need
out.
to come up.
what
yeah.
if like a 3 seed loses in the first round?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think. I mean, even I'll be honest. Even play-in teams, like if you are a 10 seed and you made the play-in, or even I feel like you're on the trajectory to get better. Most teams that make the play-in one year are usually in the playoffs, consistently after that. So I think if you're one of those play-in teams, you're on the cusp of really being one of those legitimate playoff teams every year.
All right, and the last proposal is a 5x5 method. I'm already confused. I'm already scared just by the sounds of that. This one's going to be complex. In this one, the same 18 teams from the first concept, that is the 10 non-play-in teams and the 8 teams that do make the play-in. Those are the 18. The bottom 10 that miss the play-in, plus the 8 that make it, would be entered into the lottery. The teams with the 5 worst records would then all have the same odds, with them descending from there, and there would be a lottery drawing for each of the top 5 picks in the draft.
So there'd be an 11% chance that each of those bottom 5 teams would have equal odds.
After those 5 picks are selected, there would be another lottery drawing for the remaining 13 teams. So it'd be 2 lotteries, essentially. If any of the teams with the 5 worst records didn't land one of those top 5 spots, like last season when the team, like the Jazz, Wizards, Pelicans, all moved back to 5th, 6th, 7th, the lowest they could wind up in the second lottery drawing would be 10th, preventing a bad team from falling too far down the draft board. Does that make sense?
That's not bad either.
So, yeah, if you get screwed out of a top 5 pick that you had the odds of getting, they're going to basically say, like, all right, you can't do any worse than the 10th pick then. So,
which, I mean, in a deep draft, cool, right? But in a draft that maybe there are only 3, 4, 5 guys coming out that you're really paying attention to, that could be a problem.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the second proposal where it's the record across 2 seasons.
I don't mind that, yeah.
But just too many teams. You don't need the teams from the first round that lose.
No. Keep that out.
And yeah, I'm kind of with you. Quite frankly, I don't think you need the lottery team, the play-in teams either. Or just the teams that lose the play-in, kind of like what it is now. 14 teams are in the lottery. I feel like that's plenty fine. You didn't make the playoffs, you don't get to, or if you didn't make the playoffs, you participate in the lottery.
Yeah,
I really like the best. I feel like just an equal shot across the board for everybody.
Yep.
That ultimately encourages, and then there's no averaging across 2 seasons. It's just year to year. You better try.
Yeah, but again, that first one, bottom 10 teams will all have an equal 8% chance of moving up in the lottery, with the remaining 20% of the odds being split among the 8 play-in teams in descending order from 11th through 18th.
Yeah, I don't love play-in teams being added.
Yeah, I think all of those proposals are odd.
For me, just because like I'm looking at a team like, and let's stick with the Western Conference, I'm looking at a team like Phoenix, which is already a 40-win team, will probably win 44 games by the time this season's over, and then they could potentially get a top 10 draft pick to go with that, or in the Blazers, who are right there, some injuries and everything like that, but a team that I think we can all see like they're moving forward, they're coming, like they're moving up. So yeah, I don't love the idea of Philadelphia or Orlando or Charlotte at this point, who's already got 3 studs, getting another one because they just happen to be in the play-in.
Adam Silver said the NBA will hold a special board of governors meeting in May to address the problem so teams are aware of what the rules will be ahead of the offseason. Silver said, quote, certainly going into next season, the incentives will be completely different than they are now, end quote. So, I mean, this will be something that, we'll see implemented next season.
I love it. I love it. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see how it changes things. Like, I'm glad that they don't do it like the NFL to where like the team that sucked most, like you're going to be the number 1 pick, because I'm glad they don't do it like that. But at the same time, there's sometimes I wish they just kind of did and get it over with.
Yeah, and I've heard this recently. I know we got to go, but like the thing that they got to do is incentivize winning, not incentivize losing, right?
Yes.
Like, don't make it so that way teams don't want to lose. Make it so that teams want to win.
Right.
So that way they play harder. The competition is better. It's not like let's just coast and get through. It's like, no. Like,
should be a winner's draft, too. Like, these are the players you get if you win.
I don't like that at all.
I love it. Yeah, winner draft. Like, they can be like the
congratulations,
mid-tier.
Spurs with Wembanyama. No, you get the number 1 pick after
real,
winning the championship.
Like a mid-tier, a bunch of guys. Like, all right, man, these are the ones that are going to help you guys improve, but not going to, like, make you guys unstoppable.
All right, let's wrap up the show next. Sports Saturday, Fan Sports Network.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated?
Welcome back in. Sports Saturday, last segment here. Someone said this about Arizona. Arizona is probably the most bubble team for blue blood status there is. All the regular season success, good tournament seeding, but no serious run to speak of. That's what I'm saying, dude. I can't. Arizona's not a blue blood.
That's what I'm saying. I would agree with you. Here's why I say this, and here's why I think I did say it. Being from Portland, we've had a lot of like really prominent high school ballers that end up going to Arizona. So growing up, I was always kind of like, and then Arizona won a national championship. They competed. They went to national championships. They had number 1 overall picks. Like, yes, I think they are a blue blood of just being good enough to be good enough. But, you know, they could be great, but they just never have been.
I just asked our AI overlords or at ChatGPT, is Arizona basketball a blue blood? And they say no, but they're right on the edge.
They are.
There you go.
I'm not that far off. Like, I mean, but yeah.
They say the blue bloods are Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, UCLA, even though they haven't won one for a while, and North Carolina. And by the way, boy, they got rid of Hubert Davis a little bit quicker than I anticipated.
Yeah, that was right out.
The conversation was very timely last week, but I remember,
like as soon as we left the station.
Yeah, but I remember saying, "Oh yeah, I think that maybe they'll give him 2 to 3 years just because of college. They have a longer leash." Dude, I don't know. I haven't read articles or seen quotes from what came of their meetings and discussions, but man, they were like, "No, we're nipping this in the bud right now."
Bro, if he was at Iona or if he were at Butler or one of the other schools, yes, he's going to stay. He's going to have a much longer leash. UNC? Duke? Kentucky? Nah.
I think
that leash is much shorter than we want to give him credit for.
It's a top 5 job.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. Like, and then I'm thinking like, and we looked it up a couple weeks ago. There's only been a couple dudes that have really been drafted within the top 30 of the the NBA draft from North Carolina. That's crazy. That means they're not technically producing like top NBA talent anymore. Like getting to the league is one thing, and that's a whole accomplishment in itself. But to be a top pick, considered one of the best guys in college, they haven't had one of those for a minute. Recruiting is huge right now, especially in this day of NIL.
Yeah. Well, Arizona, you have potential to put your name into the blue blood conversation if you make a nice little run here to finish off the season.
The consummate bridesmaid for Arizona.
I don't like this on the text line. Arizona basketball is just Oregon football. Hey,
I mean,
you watch it.
Is that wrong?
Watch your mouth, boy.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, actually, Arizona does actually have some hardware when it comes to championships.
It's true. It's like that's a whole different comparison.
I mean,
not to besmirch my alma mater, but hey, Oregon actually has hardware in basketball. They won the first ever NCAA tournament.
Oh my God!
1943.
They were the
Webfoots
at the time. Good Lord.
So
that's right.
Blue blood.
So shout out to the Oregon Ducks
blue
basketball.
Blood?
I suppose.
I mean, we did it first.
I mean, you did.
We did it first.
You did do it first.
Yeah. I think there was only like 4 teams in that tournament.
You were the blueprint for sure.
And I think they won like 42 to 30, something like that.
Hey, we made the Final Four. We didn't even have to win any games. Just got to the Final Four immediately.
I remember as a kid when the Ducks, it was the Luke Ridnour, Luke Jackson team that got to the Elite Eight under Ernie Kent.
Freddie Jones.
And I think Duke was the one that eventually beat them that year. But they had the one of the original players from that championship team, like 95-year-old white guy. Different time.
1939, Oregon Ducks beat Ohio State. That's all right. Suck it, Ohio State. Yeah. We got you first.
The Ohio State.
Final score, 46-33. First ever NCAA tournament champion.
I was close, 46-30.
At a raucous environment at Evanston, Illinois. All right, that'll do it for us. We will catch you next week for the first Saturday of April. We'll have a Final Four then. We'll know who's in the Final Four then. And some other sports stuff.
Yeah, you can hear us Monday, right?
That's right. We'll be here Monday. Rashad and I will be hosting, filling in for Dirt and Sprague on Monday as they're taking some time off. Hard-working men over there on the 6 to 10 morning time slot there. So, yeah, we'll be filling in Monday. You can catch us then. Or you can catch us next Saturday right here, 9 a.m., Sports Saturday. Peace.
Looking for some fun that the whole family